One of my favorite parts of The Beat is all the interesting people we get to speak with. And right now, I'm excited to bring on musician and rapper AP Ferg, who's collaborated with some of today's biggest artists, including Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, and Future. He's also a bit of a fashion entrepreneur. He launched Trap Lord Clothing in 2012 and was featured in this year's World Cup ad for Adidas, along with Pharrell Williams. And as I know from our conversations, you also get involved in policy, and you were advocating for a friend and collaborator of yours, Meek Mill, to get out of prison. Also, you guys have worked together. You released Trap in a Dream, which now has over 6 million views on YouTube. Thanks for coming on The Beat.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, man.
Let's start with Meek Mill. He is now out of prison.
Thank God.
What was it like for you watching him as a musician and a job creator go to jail for popping a wheelie? And why were you so public in your advocacy for him?
It hit home because I grew up watching Meek, and you know, Harlem and Philly, we're really close as far as like rapping and music. It's sort of like a sport for us because we was battle rapping. So to see a peer make it out of, you know, the trap, you know, the inner trappings of the neighborhoods and kind of, you know, become big, to get locked up and for the reasons he was getting locked up for, and us just shooting the video like a day before he got locked up was like, it hit home for me. So I was really like mind blown by it, and I just felt like, you know, I have a voice, and I definitely had to say something about that.
Right, and the idea that someone can be living on the right side of the law but have a probation offense put them away was going to be for years.
Right.
He's out talking about criminal justice reform.
Right.
I want to play for you something that came up because, as you may know, the Republicans now say they might even pass something that a lot of Democrats have been behind, which is reforming some of the criminal justice system.
Right.
Meek was asked about this and about what were reportedly efforts from the Trump folks to reach out to him. Take a look.
Speaking of make change, you were supposed to sit down with Trump, have a meeting with Trump, allegedly Jay-Z.
That's not true at all.
It's not true? Okay.
No.
So what happened? What made you change your mind?
I just ain't feel good about it. If I gotta put my name on at risk, because I was kind of excited because the bills they're trying to pass is actually like helping 4,000 people be released. The day before, I just started thinking about it. Like it's too much criticism, and it's not like really hard feelings towards the White House, the president, anybody.
Now that he has the voice on this, you also have a voice on this. Yeah. How do you figure out how to do the politics on this? On the one hand, he didn't want the White House and Trump to use him before they actually did the work of signing the bill.
Right.
On the other hand, if you want to get some of this stuff changed and laws passed, how do you work with some of these people you might disagree with?
Well, I think us as musicians and entertainers, we want to keep it that way as well. Like, you know, Meek is not a politician, or he's not, that's not his field. So I feel like what's natural for him, like he said, whatever he feels right about, put it in his music, and, you know, team up with counterparts he feel comfortable to kind of, I guess, like get his point across. But for the most part, I feel like he's doing the right thing and he knows how to go about it.
So you think the way, because this is something we talk about on the show a lot, the best thing in your view is for artists speak their mind, speak from the heart, and let the activists and the politicians work out the details on the negotiation.
I feel like they're more seasoned in that field. So, like, you know, like I said, he might find a person that could delegate that or bridge the gap in between him and the White House. But, like, let him continue to be an artist and express himself from where he's known, that field he's known from as an artist. That's where we want to see him at.
We talked briefly about Trap in a Dream. We hear a lot about trap music.
Right.
Help us understand, what does it mean when people talk about the trap? Yeah. What is trap music?
Right. So trap music is, it derived from ATL. The sound, I guess, is like more of a aggressive tempo, drums, 808s, and it comes from the trap, which is known as like anything that you're hustling. So like the trap can be like the drug trade, or it could be like, you know, the guy selling bootleg watches, or it could be, you know, your job right here on television, national television.
This could be the trap right here.
This is your trap, exactly. Wherever can make you money. So that's why, like, I didn't come up with the name Trap Lord, but it was Yams. Rest in peace to ASAP Yams.
That's a collaborator of yours from the ASAP Mob group who passed away.
Exactly, yeah. So Yams called me the Trap Lord because, not because I ever sold drugs, but just because when I grew up, I was printing T-shirts from, like, with my dad. I knew how to make jewelry. That was one thing that I did. I was designing, I was, like, shooting videos, and, you know, I became a great rapper, and I was, like, basically the lord of everything that I did, meaning, like, I was really good at it. So, yeah, that's Trap Lord, and that's how I came up with the branding of it.
So what's the difference for people listening between, say, okay, what you just described as trapping and hustling?
It's the same thing. It's a hustle.
When you do the lyrics,
Right.
What do you want people to take from it? Because some of the songs are pretty fun, pretty straightforward, but then sometimes you get into a deeper conversation.
I mean, we're talking about what we see, what we dream about, and yeah, I feel like you do the same thing. You're just not making words rhyme. So yeah, we're forecasting. We're news anchors, if you may. Yeah.
You feel like a news anchor of your community.
Yeah, definitely.
Wasn't it Chuck D who said hip hop is the CNN for the community?
Right. Exactly. And we're just doing the same thing. Like it's all we know, really. So until we like know something else, or we begin to travel the world and able to like talk about everything in a broader sense, then we're talking about our environment, which I think is a great thing because we make it big and famous, and people get to know like where we're from in New York or wherever we're from just by our music and words. And whether we need help or whether we need people to kind of aid us, you'll be able to see through the words. Yeah.
Can we talk about rap beef for a second?
Yeah, of course.
So you got Meek Mill here, and in his new album, he's working with Drake, putting out a song that people love.
Right.
They had this big beef. You had Pusha T and Drake beef in this year. That was a big deal.
Right.
How do we come to understand how people can be at each other's throats, blowing up each other's deals, hurting each other's image
Egos.
and money and ego, and then they're back together now and making this song together, and is that a good thing?
It's a great thing. It shows sportsmanship, and it shows that this is just a portal for us to make money. Like this is not, you know, a real thing. Like, you know, beef and where I'm from is like a real thing. People get hurt from it. But like with music, I grew up battle rapping, so you had to be very swift with how you say your words, because you're trying to hurt your opponent. It's like you're throwing jabs, you're trying to hit them with a gut shot, something that's gonna make them feel something. So that is what's supposed to happen. It's like who is the best with their words. So it's just words at the end of the day. Like, I'm not gonna hate you if I see you in the street because you said some bad words. That was like on wax. Now we can really talk about, it's like LeBron and like when LeBron and Wade played together. You know, they're like best friends, but on the court, they're like warriors. They want to go at each other's throats, but you know, they're working out in the same gym. They're not trying to like really beat each other up.
So you're clear about that. You're saying in a way that beef that is words, that's rhetorical, is not real.
Yeah.
What about people who think it's real?
I think people need to just like focus on themselves too as well, because I feel like if you think it's real, you have too much time on your hands and you're trying to read in between the lines, and that's too much. Like, you need to like focus more on what's gonna make you better as a person.
Before I let you go, we mentioned the work you're doing. When you look at with ASAP Yams, what do you want people to know about that? And I know that his family, you said, has a charity, and you are a big proponent of, I think, success and living a fairly clean life. He's someone who died at a young age. What do you want people to know about all that?
I just want people to know that, like, you know, people are gonna choose to do whatever they want to do in life, but just be careful and be very cautious of how you're doing things, because like my mother tells me, like, certain things you get into is hard to get out of. And like, you know, we're seeing that a lot with drugs and kids indulging and things like that. So like, you just want to be mindful of what you're doing.
Would you tell kids, don't even try it?
I would, like I said, people is gonna try to do what they want to do, but I would say, like, I'm not doing it.
You're making music, you're successful, you're not doing drugs.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Right. So that's what your fans, they could take what they want from that.
Exactly. Because I don't want to be nobody's preacher or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, I do what I do. Some kids is, coping with things a different type of way. I would say,
Nobody's preacher, but it does say Hood Pope.
oh yeah, Hood Pope. So I do it in my way. I do it in the Hood way.
That's different than a preacher.
Exactly. It's different than a preacher. I'm the Hood Pope. But like I said, I've watched a friend indulge in it. It ended bad for him. Because of it, he put his family and himself through a lot of pain. And I see it happen with a lot of people in the industry and just people in general. So I just feel like before you decide to indulge in those type of things, sit down and talk to somebody first, or a lot of it is internally anyway. It's all mental. So whatever you're trying to fix with a pill, the problem didn't start with a pill. It started with something really happening in your life, which is trauma and everything like that. So
and you're saying people don't deal with the underlying trauma.
Yeah.
The pill's never going to help that.
Yeah,
much.
that's not going to help that.
Yeah.
At all.
ASAP Ferg, thanks for coming on The Beat, man.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
No doubt.